Welcome to today's explainer. We're jumping right into a totally counterintuitive, kind of mind-blowing quirk of human psychology today. We're going to look at the actual science behind setting and achieving goals. And I'm just going to give you a spoiler right up front. Pretty much everything our culture teaches us about sharing our dreams, it's completely backwards. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, I want you to do a quick favor for me. Take just a couple of seconds right now and vividly imagine your absolute biggest personal goal. Seriously, picture it in your head. Feel the weight of it. Imagine deciding literally right this second that you are finally going to do it. You're going to write that novel, or get in the best shape of your life, or finally learn to code. Just hold on to that feeling for a second.
All right, Section 1, the language of dreams and sharing our ambitions.
So, what's the very first thing we naturally want to do the second we set a huge goal? We want to tell someone. Imagine running into a buddy later today and spilling the beans on your grand plans. Think about their reaction, the congratulations, the wide-eyed support. Doesn't it feel incredibly good to just say it out loud? You instantly feel like you're one step closer, Like this new goal is already becoming part of who you are. I mean, we literally learn specific phrases just so we can broadcast our hopes to everyone around us. We say things all the time like, someday I plan to travel the world, or one of my dreams is to start my own business, or man, I can't wait to cross that finish line. We are practically hardwired to share that excitement. And we really, really love talking about our motivation, our why. We throw around these heavy, powerful words like drive, passion, and purpose to describe that inner engine that pushes us forward. We genuinely believe that talking about this inner fire helps us stay on track and gives us a sense of fulfillment. But that brings us to Section 2, the motivation myth, and talking versus doing. So, conventional wisdom tells us we should share our goals, right? The whole idea is accountability. We think that broadcasting our plans creates this sort of safety net of peer pressure that'll force us to succeed. But what if talking actually hurts your progress? Well, I've got some pretty stark news for you. That warm, fuzzy, satisfying feeling you get from sharing your grand ambitions, it's actually destroying your chances of succeeding. Repeated psychology tests have definitively proven that announcing your goals makes them significantly less likely to happen. No way, right? But it's true. Let's look at why. Section 3, the social reality trap. Now, this isn't some new internet life hack trend. Scientists have known about this for almost a century. Just look at this timeline. Back in 1926, Kurt Lewin, the founder of social psychology, identified something he called substitution. By 1933, Vera Mahler found that when a goal is acknowledged by others, it actually feels real in the mind. Fast forward to 1982, Peter Gollwitzer literally writes the book on the topic, and then conducts these massive definitive tests in 2009. And all of this research points to one core concept: social reality. It's basically a psychological illusion. When you tell someone your goal and they go, "Wow, that's awesome," your brain gets tricked. It literally mistakes the act of talking for the act of doing. Because someone else recognized it, your mind feels like the goal is already achieved. Think about it. Any massive goal requires a ton of hard work. And ideally, you wouldn't feel satisfied until you actually put in the sweat and cross the finish line. But because talking about it gives you that premature satisfaction, that hit of dopamine right up front, your motivation to actually persevere, it vanishes. Your inner drive drops to basically zero. Let's look at the actual data. Section 4, the proof in numbers, Gollwitzer's experiment. So in 2009, Peter Gollwitzer took 163 people and had everyone write down a personal goal. Then came the split. Half of them stood up and announced their commitment to the room. The other half kept their mouths totally shut. Then everyone was given 45 minutes of actual hard work that would lead them directly toward that goal. But here was the catch. They were explicitly told they could stop working at any time. So it was basically a race to see who would give up first. The results are just staggering. The folks who kept quiet, they worked the entire 45 minutes on average. And when they were interviewed afterwards, they said they felt they still had a long way to go. They stayed hungry. But the group that announced their goal to the room, they quit early. On average, they threw in the towel after just 33 minutes. And the craziest part, when asked afterwards, they said they felt much closer to achieving their goal, even though they had objectively done less work. Which perfectly highlights our biggest takeaway. The mind mistakes the talking for the doing. The talkers felt this completely false sense of progress. Meanwhile, the quiet group maintained their determination. They kept adding fuel to their motivation fire, while the talkers basically just took a bucket of water and put theirs out.
So, Section 5, how to stay motivated and bypass the trap.
Honestly, the most straightforward solution here, just keep your mouth shut. You have to resist that massive temptation to announce your plans. You've got to delay the gratification of social applause until the hard work is actually done. It's all about constantly reminding yourself of the difference between talking and doing.
Now, I get it. We're social creatures. If you absolutely positively must speak about your goals, you have to frame it in a way that gives you zero satisfaction. Look at the wrong way. I'm going to run a marathon. That's just seeking praise. It makes you feel like an athlete before you've even bought shoes. Actually, scratch that. A better way, the right way, is saying something like, I need to train 5 times a week. Kick my ass if I don't. See the difference? That demands accountability. It offers absolutely no premature satisfaction. It is not fun to say, and that is exactly why it works.
Which leaves us with one final thought to close out today's explainer. You've still got that massive personal goal in your head from earlier, right? Well, now you know the trap of social reality. You know your brain will mistake the talking for the doing. So, I challenge you. What are you absolutely not going to tell anyone today? Embrace the silence, protect your drive, and go get to work.